Mae helpu nhw gyd, mae rediad gwych, mae Thomas yn mynd y holl ffordd. Thomas!
Dat was super koch. Kobe Gelm.
Hello everyone, welcome to Coficast. We haven't done one of these for a while. We've been busy working on the live streams and various other things behind the background, but we've got a guest here who we've had on Coficast, the first ever Coficast, I think, wasn't it? Chairman, Mr. Paul Evans. Yeah, welcome back. And we're here today to have a little quick chat, a recap about the launch of our 5-year strategy, which we did last month. Which was a great night. We'll talk about that in a second. We had a really good night in the supporters club. It was a full house, loads of supporters, sponsors, volunteers, the coaches, and kind of everyone who sort of, a lot of people that make up the family and the mechanics of the club, really. And we were there to share our plan over the next 5 years. That night went on for a good few hours, but don't worry, we won't be here for a good few hours. We'll sort of rattle through it. But if can you, for someone who wasn't there on the night, can you sum up what we kind of talked about? Where roughly is the club trying to go? What are the big things that we're going to tick off over the next few years, hopefully?
Yeah, the FAW gave all the Cymru Premier League sides or clubs the task of working on a 5-year plan, which we had to do. We had to finish it off in November. So, and we had to share that with our supporters and the whole world, really, because it's going global. And so it was up to us what we put in that vision, the 5-year vision. So our vision over the next 5 years is that we want to be the best semi-professional club in Wales. We want to play a European game in our stadium, on our field at the Oval, and we want to continue to be the flag bearers for the Welsh language. Those are our 3 goals over the next 5 years.
Yeah, so those are things that are important to us that we identified, and I know people have been working on that plan for a while, and it all came together really, really well on the night. It was a really positive night, and like I said, there were sponsors there and also supporters, so it was nice for us to share it all with them, and also some potential sort of partners that have since come to work with the club. So it was a really successful night on that front. But, everybody who follows us on social media will have seen that the work on the Oval has been a big thing that's taken up a lot of time at the moment, a lot of people's sort of efforts. The Oval is being revamped, essentially, and that is working towards being able to play European games, hopefully, on the Oval as soon as we can qualify and as soon as we can get it all done. Just to sort of recap for someone who hasn't seen those, but the updates are all across the social media. We're talking about extending the changing rooms and various things going on with the layout there. There's a new sprinkler system going under the field, a new dugouts. Have I missed anything out there? Probably.
No, that's about it. But I think the main thing really was levelling the field. We'd never have been able to play in Europe any European game on the field as it was. So there was a 9-foot slope from one corner flag to the other side of the field. So that was the big job. But obviously, because the FAW wanted to use the Oval, because Carnarvon is a hotspot of football in North Wales. They saw the Oval as something that they could sort of use for the European Under-19 Championship next summer. So in order to do that, it wasn't just the field. It was also, we had to extend the away dressing rooms. We also needed the control room, that doping room, that kind of thing, fisher room. So that's also been done. The big extension to the dressing rooms, and also we're getting new dugouts. These will be state-of-the-art dugouts. They'll have you'll see them in the Premier League, the big dugouts with the bucket seats and things. So yeah, those are the main things that are going on. We'll actually have a temporary gantry at the Oval in the main stand as well. I think the gantry as it is in the Oval is fine, but I think the idea behind it is because it's the tournament is that summer. The sun is actually, there's a glare from the sun when you film matches at the pressing gantry. So in order to sort of get away from that, so they're putting the temporary gantry the other side, which is the main stand side.
So, not to get ahead of ourselves here, but if we were to qualify for Europe this season through the Welsh Cup or through our league position, would we be ready to play at the Oval if everything is on track?
No, unfortunately not. The big factor here is that we don't have enough seats. At the moment, we have 630 seats. And I have to say that's been increased. Last season, I think we had about 550, 560. So that's been increased this summer by something we've paid for ourselves. So you'll see more seats in the end stand. There's an extra row of seats there. So yeah, we're 400 seats short of playing in Europe. So that's it's a bit bittersweet. All this work being done is a bit bittersweet for us, really, because although we're really excited and extremely grateful to the FAW and Noel Mooney as well, because I know he's been a really a force in this. He's been pushing this forward, wanting to revamp the Oval so that we can play, so that matches can be played in the Euros. But it doesn't mean that we'll be able to play there. So ideally, what we're looking for is another 400 seats. The only way we're going to get that is by building a new stand in the Oval. So that's not forthcoming at the moment anywhere. We're trying to look at grants to try and finance it. As a club, we can't really afford this either. So we're looking at ways of trying to generate the cash or the finance to build this stand. Hopefully, somebody could bring the money to us.
For someone who hasn't been able to keep up with all the updates, the stand near the clubhouse is gone. The stand, yes. The Marcus Street end stand has been flattened. It's gone.
Yeah.
And that is where potentially we would be looking to put a new stand. And for someone who doesn't know, 400 seats, is that a lot? How much is that? What are we talking about financially for a stand with 400 seats?
Yeah, we're talking about 150 stand of about £150,000, maybe a bit more. But what we're thinking at the moment, the work that we're doing behind that goal is, if you've been to the Oval, you'll have seen the terracing, and the terracing was, it wasn't safe. So we'd have to close that. As it is at the moment, we'd have to close that part of the ground. And we were thinking, it's not going to look good. 3/4 of the ground is going to look fantastic, and then we've got behind the goal there where you actually enter the ground. It's going to be closed. So what we've decided to do with the FAW is to concrete slab that. So there won't be any terracing next season. It'll be a concrete slab. But the reason, the other thoughts behind it is that by slapping behind the goal there, it'll then be ready for a stand. So it'll take a stand, the weight of a stand. So it's 2 in 1 there. Yeah.
So obviously, ideally, someone will knock on the door tomorrow with £150,000. But should that not happen, we are ramping up the push for sponsors on every level, from match day, ball sponsors, program sponsors, board sponsors, digital sponsors. We've got a couple here now that sponsor Coficast, Cwmni Da and Wakeman's as well. So thanks very much to them. But there's definitely more room to sponsor our digital output. We've got the live commentary that has just begun. So we're going to be ramping this up over the next few months and towards the end of the season. But the sort of key message is you don't have to be a multi-millionaire to make a difference to this club.
Yeah, I mean, to our club, every penny counts. And everybody who invests in the club, any partner that invests in the club, any supporter that wants to sponsor a match ball, a match, whatever, anything, program adverts, you'll know that money goes into the club, goes into the pitch and onto what's on the pitch and the stadium. So nobody makes anything from this. It's all on the club. It's being reinvested in the club. Every penny, I can guarantee that. And that's the way it's always been over the years. So you can be sure that when you're sponsoring the club, the money goes to the club.
Yeah, because the document, the 5 the 5-year plan document is a nice little booklet, and it's available online. So we'll drop a link in the comments for people to read it. But it is ambitious, but it's realistic as well, which was important to us, wasn't it, as a club? Because we've seen them all. Well, I've actually read most of them, and they were, some things. I won't name any names, but they've been quite wild, fair play, ambitious, but are they realistic? I'm not sure, but that's up to them. That's nothing to do with us. But it was important to us that we are realistic. We can say, we don't want to promise the sun and everything to people, and then they invest or they give us their money and they sort of put their money into the club and they get nothing in return. It's not going to work.
No, well, what's happened when the FAW did task us with this and made sure that we had the 5-year plan, we, as a board, we sat down and we had a long think about it, because it was important to us that we gave ourselves a realistic goal. As you said, a few clubs, and quite rightly, if they want to do that, they've been quite ambitious. And I think, the 3 goals that I've set out earlier on today are ambitious, but those are 3 goals that we think are realistic and achievable. So it's better for us as a club to be honest and realistic with our goals. If we surpass those goals, then fine, excellent. That's good news for everybody. But at the moment, we think this is ambitious. This is ambitious for us, and we're going to do everything we can to reach these 3 goals. And if we can, then the club will be in a much better place.
Yeah, because this is outlined in the document. Like I said, people can read it, but it's really a chance to be a part of. We believe, and I don't think this is particularly arrogant to say this, but we think that we have a chance to be the biggest club in this league in terms of our support and what we can offer fans. And everybody knows we've got a fanatic fan base, which not every club is fortunate to have. So, we're looking to take people with us. But like I said earlier, it's not just people that have got money to throw away that we're looking for. We're looking for people actually who can contribute in any other way. So what sort of things are we looking for? What sort of people are we looking for? Because a lot of people will be watching this now and they'll be thinking, I can't do that. I'm not an expert in this, that, or the other. But, someone might have a set of skills through their daily job or whatever that could help us. So what kind of thing are we looking for?
Well, to be honest, Andy, we'll take anybody on board to help us. If somebody feels that they'd like to contribute on match days as a volunteer, then we're more than happy with that. That's because sometimes you do struggle on match days because people have got other things on, and so when we get big crowds, you need a lot of people. Stewards, we could do with stewards. So it's anything and everything really. But at the moment, obviously, because our attention. Our attention is on the stand, on the ground, and the stand. We'd really appreciate it if we could get somebody who can deal with grants, or who's made applications for grants. We don't have anybody at the club who's experienced in that line of work. So that's something that we could do with. But as you say, we'll have anybody who wants to help us, who genuinely wants to help the club. There's a place for everybody in our club. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyone who could give any amount of time, even if it is a bare minimum of turning up at a match a little bit before kickoff and helping out with the turnstile, or stewarding like you said, or potentially some other things like helping out with on the media team, or even joining the board if you think you could offer something. So it's a kind of door is open for people to get in touch with us, and we're all over the social media as usual. You can check out the website and everything, and just Google Carnarvon Town FC and you'll be able to get in touch with us. And it would be great to hear from people. I think that's fair to say.
We'd love to hear from anybody. And also, I'm on social media myself. So people, if they just want to have a chat to see what we can do together, then I'm more than willing. My doors are always open. They can phone me, whatever. All my details are on Facebook and Twitter. So get in touch with myself or the club. And we'll have a chat.
That's a great way to end it, I think. It's a short and sweet, but a little rallying call to get involved. Something I did a few years ago and never looked back, and I'm enjoying it. And it's great to be part of, a club. It's a real life football club. So you people might be surprised. You can get involved with the club, and before you know it, you're kind of, you're at the helm. You're looking at how a football club actually runs, and it's very similar to the big clubs you see on telly, just that it's on a smaller scale. But it's fantastic. So That's great. And on that note, we'll say diolch yn fawr. Hopefully we'll hear from you all soon and we'll see you at a game before long. But up the town, up the Cofies. Cheers, Paul.
Diolch yn fawr.
Mae helpu nhw gyd, mae rediad gwych, mae Thomas yn mynd y holl ffordd. Thomas!
Dr. Sibach Cofic Elm.